drop, no silly nigga. All nighters on the block, I know the feeling, nigga. Click got bodies, I ain't talking builders. Bag your bitch, she good as groceries, nigga.
Yo, this is to the streets. Y'all know what time it is. What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? Hold up, y'all. Hold up. How everybody doing tonight? Y'all know what time it is. Y'all definitely know what time it is. Just getting up. Ready to get updated with y'all. Are y'all ready to go ahead and get updated on this thing? I ain't gonna waste a lot of time. I'm gonna go ahead and get to it. We got a lot to do. It's already late night, so I ain't gonna do too much stalling. Let me get some shout outs real quick before we get all the way started, though. Make sure I show love to y'all, man. Y'all always showing love to me. Y'all could be catching this anywhere, but y'all come and catch it on his street. I definitely appreciate that, y'all. So, shout out. I already know who in here, but I'm gonna look through my comments. Shout out to Love Lace. Shout out to Spread the Word. Shout out to Carl Belton. Who else? I already know. Big Rig, Jew Martin. Salute the Chocolate Candy Lady, JC. Salute Knowledge Power. Salute J Free. Salute Crystal Williams. Salute to you. David Johnson. Salute to you. Much love to all of y'all, man. Let's get into this. Let's get into it. I know what y'all came to hear. Y'all ain't come to hear me Babylon. So let's get to it. Let me turn my music down a little bit so we can hear it all clear. Oh man, that nap after work, man. That nap after work feels so good. I wake up all energized. Only problem is I'm gonna end up staying up for a couple of hours, right? And then it's gonna come time to work. And then I'm gonna be dragging ass in the morning. It's all good though. It's all good. I got help now, y'all, so my days are gonna be more beautiful now. All right, here we go. Oh shit, I'm tripping. I ain't even got it pulled up in the program yet. I was wondering, I was like, damn, what's going on? Make sure y'all hit that like button on your way in, though. Because your boy, you know, I got to get back in the algorithm. They hated me out, but they going to hate it even more when I come back strong. So, y'all rock with me. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Keep me going. But here we go.
Point. In the closing arguments, Bot, bitch, get the fuck up off my live, slut ass. So,
Well, Lago had to come in.
So,
goddamn snap.
I did not write down every little thing because you can literally go online and you can pull up instructions. It's really simple. It's something like really general. There are certain things that are going to be exclusive to this situation, to this case, but for the most part, it's general shit. So you can go pull that shit up yourself. You can go pull that shit up yourself. I'm not gonna sit up and go write down every little thing when it comes to instructions to the jury. Bitch, go on the back, deliberate, consider this, consider that, and then come back with a verdict. That's basically it. So now it was time for the closing arguments, and so okay, X said, don't add me till you're done. This ain't gonna take long. So, in the closing arguments, and I can tell you how excited I am to finally get to this point. In the closing arguments, Bot went up, and I'm glad that he did. Kathy Ty, to me, is not personable. Now, have I tried to have a conversation with her? No, bitch. But you ever seen somebody look like they got to stick up their ass? Yeah. And so, whenever she did get on the stand, she wore her emotions. So she got agitated. Her tone was elevated. And, you know, that's not the type of person that you want to get up there, baby. You need to calm down and you need to, you know, talk and act like you got some damn sense. And like you got to pretend to at least like a bitch. Like, can you pretend to like humans? She walk around with her arms folded and shit like that. Like, girl, fix your fucking face. So they put the Ken doll up there. Let me tell you something about the Ken doll. Mr. Bot, who I think is a good attorney, who was, you know, dealing with a case that wasn't winnable to me. He's handsome. You know, he a pretty white man, but he can come off pretentious and he can come off kind of arrogant, you know? And I don't even think he tries to. You know, I just think maybe, I don't even know his fucking background. I just feel like, you know, Mr. White man up there, who I think is a good attorney, that talks how he talks and how he tries to present himself. And I don't think that people relate to him that much. I really don't. But they had to choose a lesser of two evils, okay? So, Bot gets up there and he said, and he started with Megan. And her saying that she was suicidal. You know, if I would have known that this is what was gonna happen with me saying something, bitch, I wish he would have just killed me. Who I think is a good attorney. How he talks and how he tries to present himself. Because when we consider what she's going through, I understand that social media can be hard, but you want to die because of what social media is saying. But you ain't not once publicly stopped your friends from dogging the fuck out of Kelsey. They talked about Kelsey's dead father. They talked about Kelsey's child. They talked about Kelsey like a motherfucking dog. And she don't have the type of systems in place that you have or the resources that you have. Protecting black women, it shouldn't mean protecting one. And that's where y'all got me fucked up at. Sitting up here acting like I don't stand for black women. I play black people's rent plenty of motherfucking time. Black women. I buy black women's children ice cream, candy, toys, clothes, coats, and everything else. When Brittany Bird got pulled up on, bitch, I did a story about that. When Bethany Lateef drowned in the motherfucking pool, bitch, I did a story about that. When black women are hurting in my community, bitch, I talk about it. Megan is not the end all be all, and I don't have to believe every black woman that comes up with a fucking story. You got me fucked up. You understand? Black women ain't gonna grow till we take accountability. And I can still take accountability for things and grow and learn. But the problem is, it's always this, woe is me. This is what I had to go through. So, I'm supposed to get a pass for my behavior or, you know, what I do and how I respond to shit. And that's not the way to grow in life. Y'all want to sit up here and talk about it ain't cool to laugh at trauma. It's not cool to laugh at trauma. It's not. But you know what's not cool? Manipulating the masses. Exploiting hashtags. Lying. Bitch, that's not okay. Hooking your friend up with a nigga and fucking him while the bitch is sick with COVID. That's not okay. But y'all don't want to talk about it.
They don't want to talk about that. Preach. Tell it, sister. Now that's what I want to hear. You can't ask no more from our women. At least step up. That's all we ask. Don't just brush this shit up under the rug and try to act like, you know, oh, woe is me, like she just said. That's all we ask. But preach, sister. I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't mean to mess up the momentum right there. That's all every man looking for right there. Just those little words right there, and that'll do.
that. Y'all want to overlook everything that this girl done been a part of because, oh, well, she got shot. Megan did not get shot. First of all, no, she wasn't. At best, because they did not present bullet fragments and all that other shit, bitch, at best, a bullet ricocheted, and that affected her. So y'all really be amping up the whole motherfucking thing and acting like somebody just sat up and shot the bitch like she was 50 Cent. She is not Megan Jackson, okay? So y'all be doing the most to try to overlook her doggish ass ways and what the fuck she contributed to this situation. And I don't give a fuck who don't like it. And if you want to get up off my motherfucking live, you can. Because I'm not sparing no hoe. Thank you. And I wasn't sparing your ass before. But bitch, you want to get up here and do this with NBC? Okay then, the fuck? I was being nice to the bitch. The fuck? So anyway, it's important to hold people accountable. And y'all don't get to dismiss all the rest of the facts because, oh, well, she got hurt. That's not how life works. That's not how this gonna work. No. So anyway, he talked about Megan and you know how she felt suicidal and shit. And he said, even though Megan felt like that, she still came out, and that took a lot of courage. He said, count 1 is assault with a semi-automatic firearm. Count 2 for possession. It's the burp, my fault. Count 2 is for possession, and count 3 is for negligent firing, negligence, basically. He said, on the afternoon that Megan gave her testimony, was she telling the truth? They quoted Megan about how hard it was to testify. And this is how you know all this shit again. Now, the NBC article that came out today, huh? How about she sat up on that stand last Tuesday and said, I don't want to be here because not only do I have to sit in front of Torey, who hurt me, I got to sit in front of people that spreading misinformation about me. Mind you, I'm sitting in a courtroom. It wasn't too many other people that were named in that write-up that was in that courtroom. So you've been having a damn agenda, bitch, and drop that little tidbit in there like, child, what? So that's what they quoted. And they quoted what she said, that people have been taking her power for about the last 3 years, and she didn't want to appear weak. She felt like she had to be strong and all that other shit. My nipple is not out. That is the rim of the top. My nipple is brown, not burgundy. So they played the video of Megan in the damn ambulance. And so he was like, yeah, she was talking about them taking her power. And here goes an example of her breaking down. Child, God is so good. They played that video because they wanted you to hear Megan crying in the goddamn ambulance. Bitch, the sound ain't even come on. I said, child, what is this? They just turned that shit off. Bitch, God didn't even let the audio play. So the jury ain't get to hear her ass up in there crying because, baby, child, the shit ain't even work. I said, ain't this about a bitch? So then this nigga gonna sit up there and say, why would she lie? Bitch, I'm in the Twilight Zone. Did you ask me why Megan would lie? Like she ain't lied 50, 11 times. Like she ain't lied like one of them rugs that be outside the goddamn flea market. Like,
oh, what the fuck? Why would she lie? Man, hold on. I gotta slide that back, y'all. I gotta slide that back. Why would she lie? Why would she lie? Man, get the fuck out of here. Hey, Milagro Gramz going in right now, y'all. Ah, damn. He ain't even got to really what we really been saying yet.
Here goes an example of her breaking down. Child, God is so good. They played that video because they wanted you to hear Megan crying in the goddamn ambulance. Bitch, the sound ain't even come on. I said, child, what is this? They just turned that shit off. Bitch, God didn't even let the audio play. So the jury ain't get to hear her ass up in there crying because, baby, child, the shit ain't even work. I said, ain't this about a bitch? So then this nigga gonna sit up there and say, why would she lie? Bitch, I'm in the Twilight Zone. Did you ask me why Megan would lie? Like she ain't lied 50, 11 times. Like she ain't lied like one of them rugs that be outside the goddamn flea market. Like she ain't lied like the goddamn rug at your grandma's house. What the fuck you asking me why would she lie for? Like the bitch ain't been lying. That was a dumbass question to me. I was like, child, do you want to win this case or what? So he was like, why would she lie? Then they bring up single witness testimony. These hoes is sitting up here talking about, if you can accept some of what she said, then you should be able to accept it all. And single witness testimony says that, you know, you can accept it as a fact and move forward if that's the case. Okay. So then we get to what's supposed to be the evidence. The evidence, first of all, was Megan's testimony. The contradictory testimony, what she left shit at? That one? I said, bitch, I know you lying. They said Kelsey Harris and her testimony, that's evidence. I said, the yellow bitch that said she was lying with the patch in her head. Child, maybe her head didn't grow back now. Bitch, I don't know. But I said, child, what? So he gonna say Kelsey Harris then versus now, okay? He said, when Kelsey came in September, she told the truth. They said, Millie, they out here saying Megan gonna sue you in academics. So he said, something happened and Kelsey was compromised from September till now. Kelsey has been compromised, and obviously something has happened because she changed, her testimony and what she had to say. And so, there was a black juror that I saw shaking his head, no, and I was like, sure. And so, he said, in July 2020, we got the real Kelsey. And it said July 2022. These hoes done threw the PowerPoint together so fast, it ain't even got the right goddamn date on it. The prosecution about as lazy as the LAPD. I said, bitch, what he's talking about? It should say July 12, 2022. Well, shouldn't that be something y'all went over and shouldn't that be something you fixed? Or should I just stop asking questions because I'm expecting too much from y'all ass? Which one? Let me know. So they bring up the text to Justin at 4:27 a.m. and they said, this text was sent right after it happened. They said the defense wants you to believe that Kelsey shot her, but she had been comforting her. They said, is Kelsey a criminal mastermind? Is that why she sent that message? At 4:27, what's going on? Then he said, where's Justin? I say, bitch, who is he talking to? You tell me. He say, where's Justin? I know I told y'all in opening statements that we had a witness, that was going to be coming forward and saying that Torey came over there and confessed, but we didn't deliver on that. You ain't delivered on the whole goddamn case. So just charge that one to the game, nigga. So they showed a video of Kelsey sitting outside, and they showed that she had some blood dripping down her damn leg. And so in the video, Kelsey talking about, Megan, you okay? And that's what they wanted to highlight. This man gonna say, Kelsey said, baby, are you okay? We all looked at each other because it's a lot of people that think that Megan and Kelsey was fucking. Am I a lot of people? On some days of the week, I don't know what the hell was going over there, bitch. I think it was a freak show orgy circus, bitch. I think everybody was over there fucking everybody because that's what hoes be doing. But I don't know. Who am I? I'm just a bitch that be saying shit that I guess is about to get sued, bitch. I don't know. They're gonna get a synthetic wig and a tire off my van, bitch. I know you fucking lying. So he gonna say that Kelsey said, baby, are you okay? And we all sitting up there looking like, what the fuck you mean, baby? Is you okay? Who the hell said that? This man's all over the place. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. So then he said the friendship did not end after the shoot. He said the friendship ended because of the situation and how it was handled. If Megan would have basically had her back, they wouldn't have felt like it wouldn't have about no dick. Okay. They said the relationship dwindled because of no contact, and Megan felt alone and she felt isolated. Okay. Then they show the text message, and they talk about the text message where she said once again, "Hey Justin, this is what happened." They talked about injury photos. All of these things have been submitted into evidence, so they didn't put them up on the screen, but we know what they're talking about. They're talking about Kelsey and the ball patch in her head and the marks on her legs and on her arms. They also said that evidence was E.J. King's testimony. They brought up the jail call. They brought up the Instagram post that wasn't ever verified because the man ain't even looked for the IP address where allegedly Tory Lanez had said Kelsey did not shoot her. They brought up the video that I told you about with Officer Cabral where you can hear Kelsey saying, "Are you okay, Megan?" They said Megan's testimony was evidence. And then they said that the diss track was evidence because they said that Kelsey in the diss track was basically saying she didn't do it. That's how they received it. Okay. He said Kelsey wasn't protecting Megan because she didn't have no reason to. He's basically saying in September, she told her truth. Now, let's go over evidence again because they went over evidence again. So he said Megan's testimony is evidence that we're doing bullet points. How many black jurors are there? There's an older black woman, a younger black girl, an older black man, and a younger black man. 4 black people. They said Kelsey's testimony was evidence. They said that the attempted bribes that they couldn't prove, they said that was evidence. They said the jail call on July 12th at 9:05 a.m., that's evidence. And they said that the text that Torey sent to Megan apologizing at 9 p.m. that night saying sorry, that was evidence. They pointed out that Torey had said in the jail call, I don't even know what we argued about. Okay. Then he called Kelsey Kelly. And I said, bitch, 3 strikes and your ass is out. Nah, damn. You're going to have to get your head in the game, Gigi. And so they basically said Torey couldn't have been apologizing for the argument or what took place because he said, I didn't even know what we were arguing about. That was some stupid ass shit. So anyway, he said that the location of the gun was evidence. I'll refute that right now, baby. The location of the gun was the front passenger seat. They changed seats in that car before they took off the last time. The person that rode in that seat the entire time was Megan. Do you understand that? I know y'all couldn't see, but they had the picture of the weapon and how they found it before they moved everything to take a clear picture of it. Babe, the Louis V bag was right on top of the gun. Okay? Get into it. So saying the location of the gun, baby, he was the last one to sit there. When they started off, Megan was in the front and Torey was in the back with Kelsey. So they got back in the car, they got back in the same spots. They got out the car again, and when they got back in, Torey got in the front. If Megan wouldn't have got hurt, her ass would have been in the front. But because a bitch needed to spread out and elevate her legs, they put her ass in the back. Come on now. So anyway, he said that the firearms evidence he said that was evidence because he felt like, now this directly points to him, when obviously it doesn't. The prosecution comes in and they use DNA evidence to nail niggas to the cross every day, but not DNA don't matter. Are you fucking kidding me? Could you imagine a courtroom in America where you got prosecutors telling you that DNA evidence doesn't matter? Now, how fucking dumb do you sound? Let's get into Sean Kelly. He said that Sean Kelly's testimony was evidence. He said that Sean Kelly testified that Sean Kelly is a man who was at the home. He owned the home that they pulled over at. So he's the one that saw the shit. He was the independent witness. So he said that Sean Kelly said it was a chaotic scene. He heard 45 shots. He saw a female near the muzzle flash, and he said that he never saw anything in her hands. He said that he saw the shorter guy with the weapon with his arms outstretched, and he shot 45 times. They said he was going crazy, he was agitated, and he was the loudest. They said Megan fell in the middle of the street, and she was bleeding. And then they said Megan and Kelsey didn't have a gun that night. That's what he took from that testimony. He said Megan hates Kelsey. And that is a quote. That attorney said that Megan hates Kelsey. And I thought that was one of the most horrible things he could have said. I thought that was one of the dumbest things that he could have said, to sit up and say that. I had a feeling that the bitch hated her because she let her float around in the pool unconscious while she sat up in Kylie's fucking face. The bitch that she thought she was lame while she was at her multi-million-dollar mansion in her motherfucking pool, drinking up her liquor and making ground beef, bitch, for some tacos that nobody ever ate. But I do digress. I just thought that was really harsh, and I felt like, maybe that's why you didn't get the help you thought you was going to get. Oop. So anyway, they said, do you think that Kelsey and Megan brought a loaded gun to Kylie's house? Do you think that that's what happened? Well, betcha by golly, wow. They didn't have their fucking security. So maybe, baby, the fuck you mean? What you mean? Bitch, if I wasn't in California, bitch, I could have a gun in my purse and shoot your dumb ass. The fuck is you talking about? Yeah, it's possible, nigga. So anyway, they said that E.J. King's testimony was evidence. Who you talking to? Matter of fact, don't even worry about it. Don't say shit else to me. Whoever the fuck you was talking to. Talking about people be confusing victim blaming with accountability all the time. No, you hoes be confusing accountability with real life. Talking about fucking victim blaming. A victim of what? Y'all remember when Jay Prince said that Megan was a perfect candidate for self-destruction? That shit hitting hard than the motherfucker now, huh? Ciao. So anyway, they said that E.J. King's testimony was evidence. They said that the DNA and the gunshot residue was evidence that people should consider. They said Quan's gun was in a center console and they had 4 contributors. Who in the fuck told y'all that was Quan's gun? And who in the fuck told y'all the gun was in the console? Not making shit up. I say, bitch, what? But that's what he said. They pulled up the Instagram post. And he said that once again was evidence. This is a post where Torey allegedly said Kelsey ain't do it. And so they said that's evidence. And then they made a list, okay, of everything that was direct evidence. Megan and Kelsey and Sean's testimony were direct evidence. Everything else that I just told you about was listed under circumstantial evidence. What do we do with circumstantial evidence? Throw it out. So anyway, he talking about some damn Occam's razor. And I maybe mispronounced that shit. OCCAMS is a philosophy. White man, we don't give a fuck about Occam. Okay? We don't give a fuck about what the fuck is you talking about? He done put this shit up here. Bitch, I said, what the fuck is he talking? He did not do a good job to me. And people can have their own opinions and I got mine. I don't think he did a good job. We don't give a fuck about Occam's razor, nigga. The fuck? So then they go into count 2. He gonna say, Torey knew the gun was there. It was concealed and the vehicle was under his fucking discretion, like in his position, because he said that Jaquan was Torey driver. So he was gonna be at the behest of Torey. Okay? Count 3, gross negligence. And they talked about that, on the gun being fired and shit. They wrapped up their closing arguments by saying, and quoting Megan. And she said that, I'm just depressed and I don't want to talk about it and I don't like being around people and all that kind of shit. And Megan said, I don't feel like I matter. He said, but Megan does matter. Her trauma matters and she needs justice. I wish his damn closing arguments would have mattered. I wish that y'all would have had evidence that mattered. Okay? I wish that Akon, who sings "It Doesn't Even Matter," would take that shit off the top of his head. It's a lot of matter in the world. You know what I'm saying? But, you know. So then we get to George. George ate that nigga up and spit that nigga out. And I'm not lying to you. That Armenian man, I don't even know what the fuck they eat on Sundays. But whatever the fuck y'all eat, bitch, he ate them hoes up like that. And so George got up there and he thanked the jury. And he said, thank you for your time. Thank you for your consideration. Thank you for being here. We know it's the holidays and all this shit. Blah. He said, if I have ever come off aggressive, you know, I apologize. And to be able to self-reflect like that, I think them was bonus points. People love the humanity. And so he said, you know, I'm just trying to fight for my client. And I would hope that if you had somebody that you cared about that was in a torey situation, you would fight for them just as hard. So if I offended anybody, I'm sorry. Okay. You know, people love shit like that. So I felt like you did that. So then he said, baby, the defense don't have to prove anything. He said, we could have came up in here and we could have sat on our hands. We ain't have to say shit, but I did. He said, we ain't have to prove no case, but I did. I said, oh, check that. So he said, the prosecution ain't came close to proving a motherfucking thing. He said, they the ones with the burden of proof. He said, what is reasonable doubt? And he went over the definition of reasonable doubt. And then he said, to have reasonable doubt, so for that to exist, there has to be an abiding conviction, you know what I'm saying, of certain things. And he highlighted that and he, you know, kind of talked about that for a second. He said, the jury shouldn't be left to speculate. He said, all I heard was an hour and 15 minutes of speculation from the prosecution. Attorney Bot, DDA Bot, sat his ass up there and rambled for an hour and 15 minutes. One of the jurors fell asleep. I don't know if she diabetic and she took her medication, but she was doing the nod. You know, you take the medication and you, bitch, she was up in there fighting for her damn life. I said, somebody come get Big Mama her arm. I just was feeling like the little boy from Soul Food, and I just wanted the family to come back together at that point. But wasn't no money coming from the fan. Bitch, I was through with it. So then they started talking about the Fifth Amendment. And he was like, you know, he explained what the Fifth Amendment was, and that it's very unfortunate that this situation happened. He said, a person that has suffered as a result of these accusations is my client. He said, y'all Megan and what she's been through. My client has had almost 3 years of hell and turmoil and pain and fucking suffering, and he done lost so much. And so that's when he apologized for his arrogance. And then he said, and who? He said with my client, but the primary issue was with Kelsey and her being backdoored. They witness. Transparent that he was the only unbiased. Why y'all ain't put him up there? Because y'all know damn well that nigga said that he saw Kelsey with that damn gun. But I wasn't Sean Kelly that witness. And is there any evidence of why Justin didn't come to court? Why his ass ain't here? He said, and where's Jaquan? He said, why they didn't call Jaquan to the stand? Who really got something to hide? So then he said, they told you that my client made his artistry being attacked. He said, did he mention that Sean Kelly had seen shit, or did he mention Sean Kelly at all in his opening statements, or even as a witness? He said that he saw 2 girls fighting after arguing, and that Jaquan tried to break up the fight. He said, so who is misleading who? He said, Mr. Kelly told you that when he called 911, he told him what he saw at the time. He said, was Kelly ever asked about a shooter or who the shooter was? No. He said, I had to recall Diaz up here because he told him that he said that there were 2 girls that fought, and it only took him 15 minutes to get there. And he told him the same story. He said, did he ever ask for the shooter? Because now we get into all the different ways that it could appear as though this was a botched ass situation. They said, did the officer ever ask that man, the witness, who the shooter was or description? He said no. He said 4 days later, on July 16th, when they spoke to Sean Kelly, well, his story was the same. He said, did the prosecution call the lead detective? And this was a real good question. Did the prosecution call the lead detective, Detective Stogner? Did they call him to the damn stand? Why didn't they call him to the stand? Because they knew that he would have to testify to things that don't align with their narrative. So that was another great talking point. They said Sean Kelly told him that he heard loud noises, went on the balcony, and saw Quan separate the 2 women that was fighting. They said, wouldn't you have asked questions about the shooter if you done got a phone call about an active damn shooting and you done went on the scene? He said they tried to lead him, talking about everybody had something in their hands and everybody was doing this and that. He said that wasn't his story the first couple times he talked to authorities. And he said and after that, that's when he heard a shot and the muzzle flash came from the women. So he said Sean Kelly testified that Kelsey went back to that motherfucking car. Why we ain't talking about that? They said, did Bot tell y'all anything about a fight? They said, what did Megan say? She got out the car. And they said, did they ever speak on why or acknowledge or get a foundation for why she got up out the car? He said, child, I ain't hearing. He said, Torey shot her seconds later. She got out the car. And her story is that Torey shot her right after that. But Sean Kelly saw a whole motherfucking fight. Does that add up? No. They said Sean also said he never saw a gun. And he never said before he talked to prosecutors that he saw anything in Torey's hand or that Torey had done anything or was flailing his arms. He said after he spoke to Stogner, he told my people the same thing. He said, but 9 months later, he talks to the prosecution and now all of a sudden the story didn't change. So I got a question for y'all. Why was it okay for y'all to hold on to what Kelsey said in September, even though she said she lied? But y'all don't want to hold on to what the fuck Sean Kelly said originally. That don't fit y'all narrative today. Oh. So then they played the gunshots. Pop, 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 pause, pop, pop. He said, why was there a pause? Because it was a struggle. Because Torey was trying to stop Kelsey. He said, is this logical to you? Very logical, sir. They said, who has more of a motive? The man with the bruised ego or the bitch that just found out that a hoe was sleeping with her man? Huh, you decide. They said, why didn't Mr. Kelly say that Torey shot like he was crazy? And why didn't Megan ever tell y'all that? If he was flailing his arms around and just shooting all over everywhere, why didn't nobody say that at first? They said, does Sean Kelly have an interest in this case or does Megan? He said, let's talk about Megan P for a second. They said, if you decide that a witness purposely lied, you must throw all of that shit out. And we talked about this, before this case got started. If you lie, you steal. If you steal, you kill. If Megan asked gonna lie about one thing, what does it stop? That's the question. So he presented that to the courts and said, bitch, throw all of that shit out because she's not reliable. He outright said, Megan is a liar. And that is not misinformation at all. Lying asshole. Megan is a liar. He said Megan lied to Gail. Megan lied on national TV. Megan lied on Instagram, bitch. He said Megan lied for 2.5 motherfucking years. He said Megan lied to everybody, buddy. He said, I asked about a fight when Megan was on the stand, and she ain't say nothing about a fight. He said they accused my client of beating Kelsey. He said, but where his charges at? He said, if Torey had beat Kelsey and they really felt like that was something that they could have a foundation for, why they ain't press charges against Torey for whooping her ass? They tried to throw the robbery charges up there. They threw the negligence charge up there. Why y'all didn't accuse him? Why y'all ain't giving no charges for that? Okay. He said, my client was trying to save the black woman y'all sitting up here talking about got hurt. Bitch, I wanted to slide down in that seat. Y'all remember the commercials about them telling us not to do drugs? Bitch, I say, damn, I could picture that shit. I said, bitch, you could have bought me for $1. What the hell was you talking about? He said, my client was trying to save the black woman. I said, oh, come on. He was giving it to him, bitch. He was selling it. He said, Sean Kelly and Megan have very different stories. He say, how in the hell did my client shoot 4 or 5 times when Kelsey shot first? Common sense, bitch. The gun was fired 5 times and they emptied that hoe. So that means there was only 5 bullets in it. If Kelsey started shooting first, how in the hell Torey shot all the shots? Per Sean Kelly. Not logical. Reasonable doubt. And so he said, why the pause? He said, I challenged Kathy Ty and them to get up here and explain why it wasn't a straight 5 shots and it was a pause. He said, my challenge stands. He said, why did Mr. Kelly say that Kelsey went to the car? He said, how can you believe anything that Megan or Kelsey says? He said, ain't that the definition of reasonable doubt? He said, EJ told y'all that he told Megan plenty of times that her wig was coming off and she didn't want to leave. He said, but even though she said that that's the reason why she left was because her wig was slipping, you didn't ever want to leave because your wig was slipping. So what the hell you talking about? They said, y'all don't believe that she was jealous? They said, did they all leave together like Megan said? Because Kelson and EJ said that they left the first time. Megan didn't acknowledge that they left before they was at the house. Megan said everybody left at one time. EJ was already gone. That's why she rode with Torey. And then they just all left that time. No. He said Kylie had to throw her ass out. And he said, what has Megan been truthful about? What? He was waiting on the answer. He said Megan said that she wasn't involved in the argument. He said Megan stopped at the bus stop, but she ain't tell y'all who told her to get back in and who convinced her to get back in. Even though Kelsey said that Torey got out damn at the same time and told her to get her dumb ass in the car because you are literally in a bikini with no shoes on at 4 o'clock in the morning in LA. Like, what are you doing? This is nigger shit. This is just stupid shit. So, he say Megan said that she saw Torey shoot over the window and that she was walking towards the front. He said, well, everybody else said that she walked towards the back of the car. He said, was there a door that he would have been able to shoot over if Megan was walking towards the back of the car and he got out on the passenger side? That's the question. No. What would he be shooting over if she walking behind him? You have an answer for that? Okay. He said her own Instagram post said that she was facing the back. So she didn't see shit. And she said that in preliminary. Now y'all can pull up the transcripts. That's what she said. And she put it on Instagram. I was walking away facing the deck. That's what she said. He said the blood trail. We know she bled in the driveway, but where did it start? We don't know. He said, what kind of investigation was this? They was using papers for placards. She said that she never fought with Kelsey. He said Megan Pete took a damn oath and lied to y'all ass. I'm cussing, but that's basically what he said. He said, let's get into this dance bitch claim. He said, didn't nobody else hear that shit but Megan. He said Sean Kelly ain't heard nothing like that, and he was right there. And Kelsey didn't hear nothing like that, but she was right there. He said Megan came up with that shit months later to explain why she turned around. And I said, damn, you good. So let's get into it. When Megan originally gave statements, she did not say anything about no damn dance bitch. That is not what she said. But by the time other people got involved, now she's saying he said dance bitch. That gave her a reason to turn around and to be able to say that she saw him. Because what reason would she have turned around for if she wouldn't have heard him say something? So the prosecution painted a picture that you had to throw that in and you lied to give you an excuse to be able to try to act like you saw that nigga when you really didn't. That's basically the implication. He said Megan came up with that shit months later to explain why she turned around. He said Megan was drunk and mad and aggressive. He said, damn, she might have lied the first day, but then she kept on lying. What was the reason for that? He said, they want to accuse my client of bribery, but they ain't pressed no charges on that either. He said, what are charges on it? Well, as you know, let me go on my nose. He said, as you know, that shit got thrown out. Ain't no charges. I had to give me a Kleenex. Okay. He said, ain't no damn charges for no bribery. So why is we talking about bribery? Ain't nobody proved that shit. And so he said, the apology came, and then he allegedly said, I'll give you $1 million. He said that was 4 days after the incident that she was talking to police. He said Megan got her ass up and said she didn't want to say nothing and she don't deal with police. And in our community, you know, people don't like snitches. But Megan, that's a misrepresentation because you had already talked to the police. He said she ain't, he said she accused Torey of posting shit or getting his team to post shit. And she said that's the reason why she said something. He said, but from July 12th to the 16th, which is when Megan finally said something, he said, ain't nobody produced nothing that Torey or his people said. So what the fuck is that at? If you only came out and said something because Torey people had said something, can you explain to us what the hell was said, Megan? Because we ain't seen a damn thing. Shade Room, do y'all have it? TMZ, y'all supposed to have every damn thing. Did an independent source to give y'all? No, I'm gonna have to charge it. But yeah, I'm just like, bitch, what? And so he said when Megan initially was talking about what she felt and what was going on, she ain't say a damn thing about George Floyd. He said Megan also said that she didn't even know she was shot and she didn't want to make false allegations. How do you ever say that you didn't know you got shot and you don't want to make false allegations when you claim that you saw the person that shot you? Does that make sense? Child, these hoes giving me indigestion. I had to burp, excuse me. He said, why wasn't the interview with Megan recorded? They sitting all up on fucking phone lines. He said, y'all doing interviews with the main witness and y'all don't record y'all interactions. He said, what's up with that? He said, what was more newsworthy? Megan getting shot by Kelsey or Torey? Oh, he painted this picture that, bitch, it was profitable and it was more traction for Megan to say that Torey did it versus Kelsey. He said, Megan got shot and that sucks. But to sit up and mislead people, that ain't okay. I said, I know that's right. He said, it's been so bad for Megan, but she's been winning Grammys, went #1, got all these deals and all this. He said, wow, what a horrible career after this situation. And see, we got to stop with the narratives. Y'all want to sit up here and pretend like Megan had to suffer so much after that shooting, like that shit did not propel the fuck out that girl. What planet do y'all be on? Is it Earth? I don't know. So he said, Torey, the one that suffered. He the one that had to go through being accused of a whole bunch of shit without y'all ever hearing what he had to say. His family done been motherfucking ridiculed and everything else without y'all hearing what he had to say. Then he said something so very important. He said, Megan said that she had nerve damage. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember Megan said that? He said, but the doctor that operated on her, that the prosecution called up, said there was no nerve damage. And that's a fact because I told y'all last day. I wrote it down. Y'all can go read the transcripts. The doctor that helped with the fucking procedure said Megan had no damn nerve damage. So the physical therapy and the I can't walk and, you know, it's hard to talk and I got shot 2 times and I ate that shit. Bitch, we're confused. Okay, what's going on with that? He said Megan's career has skyrocketed. He said Megan came forward because her team told her to. He said probation. Torey wasn't never on no damn probation. He said, is there any evidence of Torey being on probation? No. He said he had a situation and got a diversion. He said, but that shit was closed in 2017, and you would still have had to have gone to court to be put on probation. So that still wasn't a fucking truth. He said, why did Megan? Oh, damn, bitch, they fucking my voodoo doll. My back got a damn pain in it real quick. Oh, bitch, quit fucking playing with me. So he said, why did Megan lie about a sexual relationship? He said Megan lied due to her image. He said, how would it have looked for them to report that she slept with Kelsey Mann and ended up getting shot? He said that wouldn't have been a good look for the hot girl. He said, let's talk about Kelsey and her damn immunity and invoking her Fifth Amendment rights. He said, if Kelsey had no reason to invoke them, why would the judge allow it? Get into it. He said, Kelsey said, I lied to protect myself. He said, yeah, she did, after she found out that she had gunshot residue on her ass and the witness was about to say that she shot that damn girl. So then he said, Kelsey didn't want to talk to nobody for 2 years. But coincidentally, after she found out that she was going to be named as the motherfucking shooter, she ready to voluntarily talk to the prosecution. Yeah, okay. I said, shit, okay. He said, Kelsey said she was trying to free herself. He said she heard evidence and she wanted to remove herself from this shit, all right. He said, let's go over use and transactional immunity and the definitions. Use immunity basically means that you can say something on the stand and it can't be used against you. But you can still perjure yourself, and if they, find enough evidence otherwise to convict you or something, they still can.
Somebody said
blanket immunity, transactional immunity is complete immunity.
Free.
You can get your ass up there and say, "Bitch, I shot the president," and they can't do nothing. That's blanket immunity. She did not get that. He said, "Why only use immunity?" He said because with the gunshot residue and Sean Kelly's testimony, that could still have been used against her. He said, do you think that Kelsey would have got on that stand and said that she did anything when she could have still been prosecuted? He said, even though Kelsey got up there, he said when Kelsey did the interview in September, that was not evidence, that was not under oath. But he said Kelsey lied in that interview to appease people. But when she got on the stand, she had to tell the truth because she didn't want to perjure herself. And that's why she needed the protection. Logical shit to me. Why would Kelsey need it at all? Ask yourself. So anyway, he said, if Kelsey was there for Megan and she didn't do nothing, why did she need so many lawyers? He said, what the hell was Kelsey worried about? He said, the only person that changed their story was Mr. Kelly after he talked to the prosecution. And he said, and why didn't they mention Sean Kelly? Why wasn't he one of their witnesses? He said, that audio wasn't no damn evidence. He said, but her testimony could have been perjury. He said, Kelsey sat up and said that they bumped into one another, but she act like it wasn't no fight. Child, he said, we relying on some drunk hoes. Really? He said, Megan was drunk, Kelsey was drunk. This is what we relying on. He said, they was passed out drunk, Kelsey was, and they drank some out. He said, are these women credible? He said, Megan lied, so y'all need to throw out all of her testimony. He said, Megan ain't say nothing about backdooring Kelsey, but Kelsey said, yeah. Then he gonna say, bitch, I was weak. He said, I didn't want to say his name because I didn't want the media to run with it. He said, but Kelsey said, this ain't the first time you did this to me. You did this with Ben Simmons. He said, Ben Simmons' name in court again today. I said, child, what is going on? He said, my client told him that he fucked them both and they got mad. I'm being more black and white with it. Obviously, he's not cursing in the courtroom and all that kind of shit since y'all take everything as a Bible. But, that's what happened. And so he said, who got the motive? Like, who actually has the motive? He said, Torey only 5'2". Megan, because she 5'11". He said, and Sean saw the fight. He said, Torey didn't pull her hair out, Kelsey hair out. Megan, the witness, say he saw the women fighting and pulling hair. He said, Kelsey sent that damn text message to Justin to set up an alibi. Because if she knew what she had done and she started that shit, then that would put her ahead of the game. He said, Sean Kelly said that he saw a woman with the gun first. He said, let's talk about the damn jail call. He said, they want y'all to believe that Torey apologized for shooting her, even though that's not what he said. And he said that he was being recorded. He said, Torey knew he was being recorded. So why the fuck would he apologize to Kelsey if he shot Megan? He said the only thing he was really apologizing for was the fact that he should have never let the cat out the bag. They was having sex. So he said, we got to follow the law. All this damn circumstantial evidence. He said Kelsey already was gone from the damn police station when Torey talked to her. So what the fuck would he have been asking her for? Or trying to get information from her for to try to stop her from talking to them? She was already done. He said Kelsey didn't go up there to the hospital as no good friend. He said she needed a ride from the station. So Jilly picked her up and Jilly was already going over there. So Kelsey went too. He said, baby, this ain't that. Kelsey wasn't that damn concerned him trying to take her ass up there. He said there was no statements about the shooting at that point. He said he was sorry to Kelsey for spilling the beans. And Megan was just mad about Kylie. He said the reason why Torey said that he was the one that was going to get backlash in a phone call was because he was the one that was in custody. Everybody else got let out. Who in the fuck else was going to get backlash but him? Duh. So then he brought up Officer Cabral. He said Officer Cabral, when I'm asking questions about shit, said that the clothing was unisex. He said, was bikinis and shit unisex? Do you really think the Torey wearing bikinis and shit? And then so he said, and once the bag already open, he said Cabral got up here and said Kelsey looked distraught, but didn't know nothing about how Torey was feeling, even though she was standing right in between them, and she's supposed to be paying attention to everything going on. Bitch, the prosecution said objection. I said, just lose in peace. Shut the fuck up. And so they said, you mean to tell me the officer ain't heard nothing from Torey? They said Torey also asked Megan if she was okay. But I guess they want to leave that part out too. Okay. They said, let's wrap up for the day and come back tomorrow. So that's where they stopped it at. And then that's when I found out that that lady Jody Little was like, oh no, I'm lying. Pause. The defense also said, I only got 2 minutes left and I'm gonna come right back. I see the timer up. He said when Jody Little came up there, she wouldn't answer me. But when the prosecution got up there, she remembered exactly what they was talking about. He said, I showed Jody Little the damn lyrics from Bustin' Back and she still played crazy. But when the prosecution asked her something she remembered, he said, y'all remember me saying, oh, you remember that, huh? And she laughed and said, yeah. Child, I said, yeah. He said, do you really think that she's neutral? And then that's when I found out that they had found Justin and they were trying to get him in the courtroom. He said, come back for the shit the next day and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And that's what happened today. This shit finna run out. I'll be right back.
Yo, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys hit the like button. Live.
So, man, that's a lot to unpack, y'all. And we ain't done yet. We ain't quite done yet. You know what I'm saying? Let's tune. She got a live that was going too. And then, of course, her and DJ Akademiks had a little dialogue over it. So, of course, we got to go over that too. That's always entertaining. It's always entertaining. So, let me see here. This shit is she definitely gave no.
So that's what happened. So I'm just coming back for X. So
hit the like.
I'm just coming back for X. At this point, he told me to wait. So add him. Whew. And that was court today. Let me see if he sent a request. I call that bitch Candace Pateki. The question is not why do I care so much. The question is not why do I care so much. The question is why the fuck are you on my life?
Big Rig.
That's my question. If you don't identify with my truth, you don't identify with my feelings, and what the fuck you on my life for? Doesn't make sense.
Hey, Big Rig, if I show you what she got on, my nigga, I don't know.
That was good.
I know you done been drinking, my nigga. I'm scared to pull up a photo.
I'm on Wi-Fi. Okay, I'm on Wi-Fi. Yeah, yo, listen, I was listening to the update. You went crazy. Yes. You went crazy on them. I like it.
I didn't even really give no pressure, honestly, because I had already cussed that bitch out at lunchtime.
Hey, this whole thing is over. I'm excited that it's over now.
Me too.
Hey, so let me tell you what today was. I know you were in court, so I seen you react to it too. So, two little bum-ass journalists, obviously, let me tell you what's happening. They're jealous. The clicks are down. The media historically have fed off a lot of these stories.
Yeah.
If you go back to even like O.J. Simpson's trial, you had stations playing it. These days,
outside knowledge power.
Nobody want no dry ass reporting, no boring ass type up. At the end of the day, we want it in real time. We want it with some sauce, some pizzazz, something that can make us laugh and actually be entertained. Because a lot of people have entertaining lives. They're upset at people like you, myself, and everybody in court who's coming out and giving their breakdown. You get me?
Absolutely.
When jealousy is coming out, they start using this. Oh yeah, they don't have any journalistic integrity. They're giving their opinion. They're trying to use any type of thing. And here's my biggest takeaway from it all, though. Alex Spiro, who has been clearly, I don't know if he's trying to play PR or he's trying to be a lawyer. Okay. However, he's been in contact with he's been in contact with the Shade Room saying a lot of things. I would say to him, and I'll say to Rock Nation and also Meg Thee Stallion, at times, and by the way, like I definitely want to separate because I don't want anyone to think this is like some Tasha K, Cardi B shit. This is completely different. It's public matter that everybody has split opinions on, that everybody's covering, that everybody's assuming. A lot of people have theories on, and I believe for the most part, most people will, even if they give their opinion, will make sure they're not writing opinion as fact, or they'll be fair as much as they can. If Meg Thee Stallion and Rock Nation is trying to go at a bunch of independent media outlets, myself, you, Hollywood Unlocked, No Jumper, any other media outlet that has posted, which a lot of them have. I seen it put up Rap House TV. I think this would be a fatal error for Meg, who I believe potentially is probably going to need some of the good graces of some of these same blogs. Okay. Unfortunately, and I was reading what they were going to include me on that article. They said that Meg is thinking about pursuing legal options for blogs that may have spread misinformation about her. Yet, when they quoted what they believe I did, you know what they said? Oh, well,
what they say?
You tweeted out that Tory's DNA wasn't found on a gun like a few months ago. What that got to do with Meg?
Exactly.
I'm talking about what's going on with Tory in Tory's case. So again, I see what this is. I would definitely caution, and I put caution to the wind when it comes to Meg and Rock Nation. If y'all thinking about filing a lawsuit, you should probably think first with Kelsey. Kelsey is the person who basically has torpedoed the case for y'all. You should possibly look at look at the woman in the mirror, because if you stay consistent and maybe your information wasn't misinformation at times, you'd probably be a little bit closer to getting a conviction. Still, I'm not trying to send bad vibes to her, but I am really shocked at ever since this happened. And yes, I do believe she got hurt, but ever since this happened, every public instance that she's decided to open up her mouth and say something or accuse someone or any of the moves she's made, it's only made it worse. And I really have to wonder who the heck is making these moves and calling the shots. Meg, again, I know she wants to be seen as the victim, but also this is the thing I caution any entertainer. You can't control the narrative. You can't control the internet. No one man can do it either. Neither can I. People have seen a bunch of information from different outlets that make it up their mind. You get what I mean? I've seen two different people today who were not involved in the case. They were asking for their opinion on how it was thought, how they thought it was going to go. Honestly, I would have said both of them would have been leaning towards Meg in the beginning. They both said Tory, you know what I mean? And if this case is coming down to what we now know it is, I think we all deserve an apology, because when we do any doubt, it was like, yo, you guys are like, first of all, what's so crazy? They called Drew misogynist. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. In the article, it says, you're leaning into misogyny. And I'm like, again, unfortunately, this is so polarizing. You can't just point out facts on both sides. And here's the funny thing. I know I would, and I won't speak for you, but I'm pretty sure you would. If this case went down and we found out some really shocking stuff, and there was mountains of evidence that was consistent and that was in line with the idea that Tory did it and that he was guilty, we would probably just have to say, damn, I guess he did do it. But that's not what happened.
Let me tell you something. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And babe, I would have absolutely said that. Tory ain't got no goddamn spell on me. If I felt like the nigga was lying or the nigga was out of line or whatever, bitch, I'll tell you. I don't.
Yeah. So, again, I think that's a really idiotic move. But didn't I said this, and I'm not sure if I said it to you or I said it to Mo from Lawyer for Workers. I said, listen, I know Meg at this moment has to be huddled with her team. Plotting. What are you going to do when that verdict comes down tomorrow night or Friday morning? You now are going to listen. And by the way, this is the thing that Meg has to realize: you can't control the internet. Some people, whether you were lying or not, quote unquote, they're going to look at you and say you're a liar. You're going to have to deal with that. And I'm going to do either a statement. You're going to see some powerful people try to speak out on her behalf, but she's going to be in crisis mode. If this is the beginning of crisis mode to attack mostly Black independent blogs, this just shows her decision making over time has gotten no better, and possibly that's what.
Exactly, because that is the stupidest shit you could do.
Yeah. No, I agree. I
thought that was the dumbest shit she could do. Throughout the duration of everything, I feel like she's been handling it poorly, her and her team. Yeah. So I just feel like that's just, you want to come for all these different outlets? Okay. And it will go nowhere. So anybody sitting up, you know, who dick get hard, thinking that shit gonna go somewhere, that shit will go nowhere. The fuck? I don't give a fuck what I tweet. Bitch, excuse me? Misinformation on bitch. I ain't never said who the fuck? That sounds stupid. It's desperation, nigga. Then everybody gonna have to stop tweeting. What's the difference?
Yeah. And by the way, if watching on my Twitch and my YouTube, I didn't mute my mic. Sorry, that should be good. Okay, calm down. But anyway, so here where we're at now, right? You know, we're about to watch potential fallout. By the way, ain't it interesting? The two bodyguards missing in action the whole time.
Pop up today.
Up a day too late and an hour too late.
They was trying to get them notes, and they came up in there about 3 different times passing notes to Kathy's house. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then she left out the courtroom, came back. And then when we got done, somebody who had been in the hallway was like, yeah, they found Justin. And Jody Little was like, yeah, I need to talk to her right now. He needs to go in there. Bitch, please.
Was that before Torey's team declined on bringing Jaquan, or after?
After.
Okay. Yeah, I've never seen such desperation. I mean, Kathy's ashamed of herself. You know, she's supposed to represent the people of California, and she's supposed to represent the people of LA County, and she made them look unprepared. She made them look biased. It looked like it was a witch hunt. And you could tell some of these underhanded tactics that she probably was unsure about. You could, without saying too much, you could kind of see them things trying to come to light. But, I mean, all in all, I feel like she understands this is going to be an easy sweep. Yeah. And I believe she's only hoping for a potential 1 count to be found guilty. So a 1 and 2, you know, there's 3 counts. I think it'll be a 3-0, but I believe for her, if she gets 1 count, she would be extremely happy, because even her closing statement seems like it wasn't. If you are gonna say that, if y'all believe Meg,
right, that's the worst thing you could have said. I sat up there and said, bitch, I know you fucking lying. This is what you ask the people? Hell no.
Yeah, a horrible case, a weak case. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when it's said and done, I think that, you know, I think Torey just knew something that we didn't know. Because when he tweeted that, I seemed super confident. And then watching how the prosecutor fell apart, I don't know. It's interesting.
It's very interesting.
I'm wondering if any so potentially a verdict could come down tomorrow, right? I'm wondering who's gonna.
Yeah. When we come back tomorrow, defense will finish their closing statements. Prosecution has an opportunity for a rebuttal. They'll go over a couple of more jury instructions, and they can go ahead. So we should be done with all that before lunch. As far as I'm concerned. I
wonder if any other mysterious figures might show up in court.
Okay.
I think tomorrow's gonna play out very interestingly.
Me too.
Very.
And I'm excited to see. And I'm gonna tell you something. When the prosecution was doing their closing statements, one woman was falling asleep. The people were looking, you know, and following him, but, you know, they were just sitting there. When George got up there, those people weren't engaged. I saw a juror saying, nodding his head, like in agreement. Shit. I said, there we go. Huh. All you need is 1. But it looked like a few of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the mere fact that, put it like this, the mere fact that Torey declined to call Jaquan.
Yeah.
And I think that could have been a knife in the heart. But honestly, when, you know, in the 48 laws of power, it tells you, you know, you got to know when you win, or you know when you won, and don't push too much.
Exactly.
Because you have a desperate opponent who might try anything. So, you know, I think that was a good decision for him not to testify, and also not to also put Jaquan on the stand. Yo, I'll definitely say this. Could you imagine what the fuck they would have tried to bring up if Torey took the stand?
I can
they made it seem like Jeffrey Dahmer.
I can only imagine they would have brought up some of the things they listed. You know, these accusations that were never proven. August Alsina, Prince with his kidnapping ass, lyrics, tweets. You know, they just would have threw everything at him to make him look like a bad person. I am so elated that he did not get on that stand.
Hey, the moment I heard they said, well, you know, we're gonna talk about his gun tattoo. I'm like, oh, word, that's what y'all got.
Okay, like, are you fucking serious?
The gun tattoo, okay.
Right, the fuck? Desperate shit. Desperate times call for desperate measures, because I know you fucking lying.
Yeah. Yo, you know what? I got to give this lawyer that Torey got some credit.
Yes.
With all due respect to Sean Holly, I don't think she had the dog in her. You know what I mean? You need somebody. You need somebody who had the dog in him. And I think George knew when to kind of chill out.
He did.
Turned his up.
He did, and not in a way that was aggressive towards anybody else. I feel like when it came to the witnesses, he did it to make a point. Oh, you don't remember? You know, it was like a, you know, y'all catching this type of shit. He's just very aware, and he's been doing an amazing job. Those two sitting up there, oh yeah, they worked every fucking penny.
Yeah. Now I seen how Torey walked out of the courthouse, man. Torey's been walking out with the biggest smile possible.
He should. I mean, you sit up there all day listening to this bullshit, and I think you sit up there feeling like I can never speak for him. But child, why the hell would I go to jail for this?
Why did TMZ, who hasn't reported in real time about anything, they definitely chose to report that Torey was in there sleep? The instructions. I haven't seen them report about anything in real time about this particular case, but they chose to bring that.
Can we be fair? I will be honest. Torey was falling asleep, but I was too, and the judge looked like he was too. Prosecution was boring.
Damn, who was it? The bot nigga or Kathy?
The juror was falling asleep. Everybody was falling asleep. It was not just him, and he woke back up. The fuck.
Damn, the prosecutor giving a lullaby over there, man.
Okay, shit. I was over there. I had to change positions. Shut.
Wait, hey, why y'all keep saying the stream was echoing? Hold on.
Falling asleep. Everybody was falling asleep.
No, it's not. Oh no, we should be fine. Oh yeah, but yeah, no. So wait. Did it see? I'm wondering how it goes when like he didn't finish his closing statements. Does he kind of run it back a little bit tomorrow? Because you know the closing statements is like a pitch. It's like
right.
sales pitch.
Right. You know? I hope that he does, and I was kind of glad actually that they paused it. At first I was like, no, let him finish because he's on the roll. But we get to come back tomorrow. He can reiterate certain points, and they don't have to have the prosecution be the last ones to get their word in, or the first and last, because I don't think they get a rebuttal after that. Just prosecution.
I believe that you said that Torey lawyer might have insinuated or asserted that in his closing that there was a struggle for the gun, right?
Yes, he did.
Hit the like button for me, y'all. Hit the like button for me,
Prosecutors
please.
never acknowledged that ever, right?
No, and he said, I challenged the prosecution in their rebuttal to explain the pause in the gunshots. Because it went pop, pop, pause, pop, pop. He said that is what a struggle took place right there. And that makes sense to me.
Likewise.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise.
So he said, I challenged her to explain how that happened.
How did the prosecutor did they address it? Like I know you spoke about it, but did they address anything at the party? Did they address anything with Meg fucking her friend?
No, they completely skimmed over that. Everything was Megan and Torey fighting, and these people's defense was Torey shot Megan because she attacked his artistry, and then basically that's how fragile his ego was.
That's how they still wrapped up. That's how they still wrapped up the closing.
Yes. And I said, how stupid can you be? You want me to send, if I'm a juror, you want me to send this nigga away for 22 years because you expect me to believe that he shot at a bitch 5 times because she said that his music ain't good? When we all know damn well his music is leagues ahead of her shit, anything that bitch can come up with. What would be the fucking dig? Megan don't have shit on Tory Lanez musically. Come on now. Get mad for what? Girl. Please. Now I know we're not finna act like this nigga's ego is just that fucking bruised. Like he just so full of himself that he want to shoot a bitch for saying that you only hot because you was on Jack Harlow's phone. Shit is ironic.
I'm wondering. I know the immunity deal was literally only for the it was only for the testimony, so it's not anything that. I'm wondering, since now there's 2 different individuals. I still don't think they will, but I'm wondering if they're gonna try to, just try to stick it to Kelsey by trying to charge her for some shit.
I wonder too. I just don't think anybody will pick this bullshit up after this. It shouldn't have never gone to trial anyway. All experts and people, with qualifications in the legal aspect of shit have said that this should have never made it to a trial. So y'all gonna waste more taxpayers' dollars with this bullshit? No. And I think somebody on the prosecution needs to be fired from their job. Name starts with a K, ends with an A. And be tied. Because bitch, you suck.
Well, so this is just a theory. I have no proof of this, so this is a theory. Imagine if this shit happens and within the first few days, because apparently Meg went to talk to them like the 4th day, right?
Yeah.
Maybe someone who got some influence and power may have already dealt in like politics or dealt in the judicial system at Rock Nation. Maybe they made a call over there and be like, yo, listen, our artist was shot. You guys bent her. prosecute. Now obviously they didn't have enough evidence, but they were kind of like their arm was twisted to go forward, not only because of somebody calling over, but because of the public pressure to try to prosecute a case that didn't have enough evidence for yet.
Right. And another great point, that was made by the defense was the fact that prosecutors use DNA to send people away every day, and they argue this every day with DNA evidence, but they now want to tell you that DNA does not matter. We can overlook the black and white things that matter. And so I just could not see this man getting guilty. That just an appeal would need to be filed within 2 seconds, that everybody would need to protest. And I hate that people feel like they can't understand that this could be your daddy, your brother, your cousin, your nigga. That can be him.
So how the hell did the prosecutor address the fact that there's no direct eyewitness that seen Torey shoot Emek?
They only took the pieces from testimony that supported that he did. They didn't acknowledge that Mr. Kelly said that Kelsey had the gun first. They said Mr. Kelly said he was flailing his arms around with something in his hand. He shot 4 and 5 times. They only wanted to acknowledge Kelsey's September 14th interview where she said such and such. And that was to their detriment because y'all are not being transparent. That is not all that was said. You do not get to pick and choose, which people were so excited when Mr. Kelly went up there because he said Torey shot her. He said Torey shot her. What he said, he did say that. But he also said Kelsey had the gun first and that she fired first and Torey was still in the fucking car when the gunshots first went off. Then everybody got out the car. Jaquan, he said that they let them fight for several minutes. But then Kelsey went back to the car after the fight spilled outside, went back to the car, and next thing you know, shots are being fired. And the driver got out the car, Torey got out the car. They admitted all of that. So you can't pick and choose what you want to take. And all of them are reliable. Even if you feel like you believe what he said, they all said something different, so you can't use it. They lied.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm wondering if I definitely know right now, Meg is probably cooking up a statement. I'm wondering if Kelsey's going to talk.
Me too.
And I'm wondering if Kelsey, again, I think some of the blowback of the narrative is going to go towards Meg. But I think if you watch this case, you're probably even inching towards saying, well, Kelsey did it. And I'm wondering if any type of vitriol and hatred or, contempt from people, if she's going to get that. Want me to be
honest? I do not think that Kelsey would get too much backlash because as a woman, these hoes sit up on Instagram issuing threats and doing all kind of shit behind, little shit like that every day. What woman wouldn't identify with getting upset because this woman not only slept with somebody behind her back, but this ain't the first time. I do not think women are going to be upset with Kelsey if they conclude that they think she did it. I really don't. I really don't. Especially black women. And y'all some fucking hypocrites if y'all do. Because y'all the first ones to, bitch, this is what I would have did, and I'll fight that hoe and I'll do all. Okay, well, that's what the fuck she did. She pulled the bitch up out that car about it.
Y'all really want to know if there's going to be anybody probably from next team there tomorrow. I know she probably won't be there. But I would imagine someone would probably be there. I'm thinking of maybe this only happened at murder trials and shit like that. But usually you have people who, either supported the victim or whatever the case is, probably are hoping for a particular result. I'm wondering if that's going to be a thing.
They probably got somebody in the cut. They probably do. I'm sure, they probably do. There's a woman that I didn't see for the first time until Megan came through, that I saw again today during closing statements. I cannot confirm she works with her, for her, has any relation, but I only saw her when Megan came, and she was there today.
If this shit doesn't get
legal, on the legal side.
If this doesn't get decided by Friday, we got to imagine it's going to be a mistrial. Ain't no way this is going to come back after the holidays, right?
No way.
Friday is going to be the 23rd. Yeah, no way you come back for the holidays. It got to be
and deal with this bullshit.
Yeah, it got to be like a mistrial. You're not bringing them back to trial again. Too much money wasted. Just too much of too much. You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think it's probably going to get. I think it's going to get wrapped up really quickly because I think these jurors who've been sleeping throughout, I think they realize they're hearing redundant points. They're hearing everything but the shit they really want to hear. So who saw him shoot her? None of y'all? Okay, where's the DNA? Y'all don't got it? Where's the actual shit that could show us? Real easy. So we got to be up in this goddamn interrogation room trying to figure out the puzzle of how he could have shot her. No, not guilty. All right, we get the fuck on out of here. Time to go wrap Christmas gifts. I think that's just exactly how it's going to go.
Me too.
And unfortunately, I'm praying. Tonight I'm going to say a prayer for Megan Thee Stallion. I'm praying for her healing, you know what I mean? Because, she's a human at the end of the day, but I think she might have a breakdown, and I'm going to pray for some healing for her. She's always been jumping out there in the media wise to try to kind of control the narrative. And I think if tomorrow it happens with a not guilty verdict,
you know, I want to say that too. I'm not gonna lie. So I will not be praying for Megan tonight. But what I will say is I do hope for the best for her. And I do think that it's difficult, you know, to deal with all of these different things that are going on. She was hurt. And that is unfortunate and that sucks. Regardless of the circumstances, she was. And
Hey, what's she doing? Shots at you in the court though?
I believe so. That's how I took it. Yeah. So my whole thing is, bitch, scratch your ass and get glad. I don't know why you mad at me when you know damn well I have a foundation for what the fuck I be saying. I can see if I dry ass said some shit, which I've been right about everything I said. That bitch need to give me a Christmas gift.
Are they mad at you? Are they mad at you in Houston?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Like squarely. I remember when this first happened, we had like Bun B, we had all these people who blindly jumped out in defense of her and said, you know what? We as not only black men but OGs, we need to protect this woman. She's a victim and this other scum just shot her. And I'm wondering how they're feeling now.
Yeah, what? I ain't heard them say nothing.
I don't think you will.
They'll act like it never happened. And that's a damn shame.
Someone says the album Daystar makes a lot of sense now. I
listened to Daystar again, and bitch, I just wanted to cry. I just felt like, bitch, I feel like, damn, this shit is so fucked up. Like, it just hit different. I loved it immediately when I heard it the first time when it came out. But I just need him to do a Who Shot You remix and put out a deluxe. That album deserves Grammys. That was an amazing body of work, hands down. That man being able to come up with that content in that short amount of time and pour his heart into them records, and that nigga sliding on them hoes too, like, that nigga deserves some awards for that, and he didn't get the opportunity to do that because he was condemned.
Yeah, one of the good things about, especially one of the albums he did Alone at Prom joint, I think he could bring back. You know, I think that was timeless.
People love that album.
Timeless, really timeless music.
Yeah.
As far as jury instruction goes, you know, I kind of asked this question to Mo earlier, and he didn't really have an answer. So let's go with the theory, right? That they were fighting over the gun, and the gun got discharged. He's charged with 3 things: discharge the gun,
right?
Assaulted Megan with the weapon.
Right.
I don't think that's not going to get really used. But then there was the possession one, and I'm wondering if you're trying to stop someone from shooting, or you're taking away a gun from someone, at what point it becomes possession? I know obviously that the judge is going to tell the jury what the counts really mean. Did it give anything that was a little bit that stuck out to you?
No, there was nothing that was offered up that would make me feel like he should even get that. Because to sit up and say, and this is the craziest part, that could have been Torey's driver. It was his driver and he was driving. That's fine. But prosecution said that it was Quan gun and it was in the console. Okay, so how the fuck y'all gonna blame him then? That still ain't his. They've only blamed it on him because he was sitting in that seat. But Megan was originally sitting in that seat. So I think when it's all said and done, that's not something that should be able to stick either. Because you ain't never proved it though. His DNA not even on that damn gun.
Unfortunately, I think that Meg, you know, if you've ever been really lit, and keep in mind, allegedly, Meg might have went through like 6-7 bottles of Henny, you know what I mean? Like, she's a now, what happens with that usually when you get to that point of like inebriation is like sometimes the night, or the moments of the night is skipping. So you remember major things, but those other little moments you get, right? So just like how she's like, you know, oh, I looked over my shoulder and I seen him or whatever the case is. Let's just say that maybe she's seen something of the sort. I'm wondering why the prosecution didn't try to rely, or at least, you know, kind of rely on her memory a bit to kind of clean up some of the other loose things that the defense is throwing in the mix. Like, for example, the defense is kind of saying, yo, that gun came from the Louis bag, and the Louis bag was moved, or the luggage bag, whatever the case, right? Now, now, if I'm the prosecutor, I would have asked Meg, why the fuck y'all move that shit? Like, come on, give us something. So, they ain't got nothing.
Nothing. They don't even want to acknowledge it.
And there's a picture of it being in a different position than originally stated by EJ, right?
Yeah, EJ said he put the stuff in the trunk, and it was in the back seat.
Yeah.
So
this is why I think that maybe Meg's memory of the night may not be all the way there, because if it was, the prosecutor would not be ignoring so many gaps.
Right, big things. Right.
They would have. Okay, no, this is why this happened. No, they ain't get no gun out of it. No, she just took a Band-Aid out. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? But that's not the case. The prosecutor don't know what they don't know,
Right.
and that's just the fucking point.
You know, on one of those records, Torey says, and obviously this is a song, so it's not to be taken as a literal fact. But on one of my favorite tracks on the album, he said, "You yourself don't even know the full story. Why you let these people escalate it?" And I just really feel like, yeah, you was drunk as fuck, and you really probably don't know what the fuck happened. Like once again, like you probably know like big pieces, but you really probably don't. You probably have misconstrued what took place. You probably really do not fucking know. And you and these stories you've been giving, bitch, make me feel like you don't, girl. It was better for y'all to say Torey shot you than Kelsey. You do get more traction when you say that. Like, let's not act like there wasn't particular people that wanted to sign that man. Like, let's cut the bullshit. Because honestly, this shit bigger than Megan, actually.
Yeah.
And it sounds okay. Let's talk about the fact that everybody meets at a Rock Nation brunch. Megan was trying to put Kelsey on him, and then she come in and swoop in and get on him. How we know they weren't advised to do so? And all this trauma bonding. You know, with we bonded over our mothers. It's just too much happenstance for me. I don't believe in coincidences. Too much. Drake said, "Don't think about it too much," but I did.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know how to call it.
Okay. We gonna see.
Yeah. One more day, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hey, listen, you know, for tomorrow, you know, I'm trying to think, you know, I'm about to hit the liquor store early. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take a shot. I'm gonna take
I just had a drink.
Megan. Megan. I'm gonna take 5 shots for the verdict. And, you know what I mean? I got to keep it fair. I gotta take 5 shots to Torey too. You know what I mean? You know, like we gotta keep it fair. Well, how do you plan to kind of I won't necessarily say celebrate, because you know I'm just saying getting this whole ordeal over with, having to get up every day, waiting in line, get in the fucking courtroom, waiting for them to over. What you about to do?
I ain't ready for this shit to be over with. I cannot wait. If God says the same, it'll be a clean sweep, and you gonna see a black work. I don't know what people think. Into another. I've been doing this shit for like 5 years, and commentary that is, and so I'll get back to just doing my radio. And people be like, "You should have your own show." I've been having my own show. So I just like I said, I do Twitch and YouTube and Station Head. So I'll get back to it. It is. Everything had to stop.
By the way, I like how I like how the defense attorney downplayed his height a bit. Say, yo, you know Torey 5'2". How the fuck you about to shoot over the goddamn head?
Okay.
Hey, put a little sauce on it and get it happening. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, I think he might downplay Meg's height a little bit. And I heard Meg might be 6'2", built like the Liver King. Allegedly. So I don't know.
When I looked up and I seen that damn girl, bitch, I say, oh
Did she
my
make eye
God.
contact with you?
Huh?
Did she ever make eye contact with you?
No.
Or was she just crying too much?
No tears.
No tears.
I ain't seen not one, swear to God. I heard the sounds and I saw the faces. I ain't seen not one tip out. She dabbed her face. I ain't seen not one tip out.
Damn. On that Amber Heard shit, huh?
Yeah. I said, girl, please. It was ridiculous. But she's not the best actress, so I wasn't surprised.
Oh man, hey, you know, I'm gonna send my prayers also to Party. You know, even though I think he should be equipped to deal with some of the revelations in his trial. You know, he has a tattoo that says feminist, so you know, hey, you gotta take it. You got this is exactly what you. But I know he gonna have a hard time. You know, probably digesting some of the stuff that kind of came out in court, and also he probably got to be there to support her.
Right. But you know what? I don't know. We'll see. I just feel like this was a bad look. This was a fucking mess.
Of course.
So yeah.
I still want to just lie about Torey fucking. Like, why?
One lie about something so simple. Just tell the truth. And then I don't like how she tried to play him like, because they asked her way before that on the live, you fucking with Torey? And her and her little friend had laughed about it. Like, bitch, why you trying to play that nigga like that? You ain't even have to answer the question. But you want to try to play him? And then it's like, she let y'all sit up there and say, oh, he's short, he this, he that. That dick wasn't too short, bitch, and everybody the same height laying down. So at the end of the day, bitch, you fuck with him. Yeah, baby, so it looked like she begin with them big ass niggas calling because they look better because she's so damn big. But seemed like to me, she like a little nigga.
Yo, honestly, I feel like the industry ready to kind of flip, and I think I don't know if people realize, even up to the point where Drake had dropped that bar, like, I think people were real at two things. She's going too hard with the victim thing, and we're having more doubts.
Yep.
Number two, it's really bad to stick into a particular story, and we're starting to find out holes in what happened. And number three, like, he wanted to cancel.
I was felt, and it got so spiteful.
Yeah, I can say that when you know, while after they did it, Meg seen that Torey was, you know, because you know how they were doing the blackballing. You're really blackballed if nobody else talks to you, so it's like you're at the loser table. And the baby who was paid for the record and paid to, you know, I mean, be in the video, actually, he just promoted the business. And then the way it was clear that it was more about, I don't want this motherfucker to succeed.
Exactly.
More than, hey, listen, this is the guy who abused me type thing. And that never, like, kind of felt right, because if you wanted to just throw another man's career into the fucking garbage just to kind of uplift yourself, who knows?
Right. No, I agree. And I feel like it felt very spiteful. And for so many people to get behind that and to mistreat him was one of the most disgusting things to me, because it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. And with all of these Me Too movements and shit like that, the men in these positions that did that to him, that could be you, bitch, tomorrow. A bitch could come up and accuse you of anything. And I would hope that you would want people to at least wait to see what your side is. And they didn't do that for him. They threw it to the wolves and said, fend for yourself, and condemned him.
Yeah. You know, talking about, you know, lawsuits and things of the sort. I mean, I don't think Torey will, but I think Torey has a good case for saying, hey, listen, you may have said and did things in the industry that may have prevented me from getting a lot of money and from feeding my family. And
I think there's too much money that was on the table that got lost for him not to put the energy into suing the fuck out of everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I see somebody just mentioned, I also thought it was definitely bullshit. Like, they're acting like Kelsey didn't refute her statements. They're like, oh, let's just keep referring to this September.
Yeah, she said it wasn't true. So what the fuck is we talking about?
Yeah, you gotta throw that shit. You gotta throw that shit out. You gotta throw that shit out. Man.
Best in the best game with trash ass. Take my.
What you got going on for the rest of the night?
I don't know. What you doing?
Listen, probably gonna get some sleep, man. I can't wait till this shit is over with. I really got sleep.
I'm ready for this verdict. Oh, yeah, I don't know what they're gonna say. You never know.
Hey, right? You gotta go out.
Maybe, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, by the way, I will say, I definitely think Torey got to give you a Christmas gift for some, you know, and not for, quote, as some people might say, oh, taking aside. I think for just being unbiased, you know, because, you know, honestly, you know, media's turned into, yo, fuck the facts, let's follow the narrative. And the safe narrative is this, fuck the facts.
I want a fucking song. I want a song named Milagro, and I want that whole thing to be about me. I want a whole record on the album. I want a song.
Torey probably in the studio right now to cut it up.
I want a 3-minute situation.
Hey, yo, did any of the bodyguard, did you see Justin in that?
No, I didn't see him.
But they claim he was there.
They
was demeanor the whole time.
Jaquan came in and he was looking around. He had on all black. He looked like he was doing security today. He came in there, he was looking around, and then he was sitting out there. People didn't recognize him. I did. So people started whispering about it. Once we got the delay, we was able to go back out the courtroom. So he was sitting, but once more people came out, he drifted off towards like the elevators, like he was going to, or nothing like that. He just looked kind of just like he did not want to be there. And
Sing with Kelsey, right?
same thing with Kelsey. I didn't.
That's really say.
No.
every single day. Hey, we've been covering this story relentlessly.
This a crucial K track, B.
Because if you actually, you know what I think he was gonna say?
What?
Say, listen, I heard something that sounded like a gun. I didn't see it. I did break up a fight. They were both drunk. I helped bring one of them to the car,
Right.
and I kept stopping from. Also, while I was,
Yo, I'm going live on Instagram once they done. I'm gonna take 3. Subscribe.
Quan had 0 gunshot residue on him, but Sean Kelly says everyone was struggling over the weapon when it went off. So if they claim that it goes 18 feet, why Jaquan didn't have it on him? That is something else that physically supports the claim that those men were in the car.
yeah. I felt Sean Kelly was the best neutral. He was going to be the best neutral witness, but then once he started saying the shit, saying that he's seen a nigga shoot her, he's seeing like everybody beating on the girl. I'm like,
Right. Like, hell no. I thought he was too. Because I read the transcripts and I saw what he said there. I was like, oh, okay. All the extra shit he said, I said, bitch, please.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not compromised. They said Kelsey was compromised. The whole damn LAPD that came up there was compromised. Everybody y'all called up, bitch, obviously was compromised. That's what we doing. Because they played real stupid when defense across.
I mean, obviously, Stockton was compromised. If the nigga, listen, you got to think about this. You get called to investigate some shit that happened in the wee of the night, and basically, these people are blitzed out of their mind,
Okay.
and you don't even take that into account. You don't ask them how much they drank. You don't do anything with that. Like,
You don't look
You
at her, this is 2022. You don't look at her Instagram. You're not keeping up with what she's saying as it pertains to this case. Y'all can't tell if Torey posted what. Y'all not even checking IP addresses. Y'all not following up. I mean, what kind of raggedy ass investigation was this? And that's exactly why y'all lost this motherfucking case. Look, what did the damn verdict say? That nigga did not do this shit. I don't care.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I ran a poll. So I ran a poll today, right?
What they say?
10,000 people voted.
Oh, wait.
I said, do you think Torey is guilty or not? 10,000 votes. The majority voted for Torey. You want to hear the percentage?
Yes.
93% said that Torey was innocent.
Oh, wait.
7% said they believe he was guilty.
Oh.
Granted, we're not in court, but we pretty much, like, we're taking all the information you tell us. Tweets that Cunniff and James and whatever. Like, everybody's putting out.
Mm-hmm.
And the consensus is, man, y'all wasting that nigga time. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Y'all wasting that nigga time. Point blank, period.
Literally. Wasting that nigga time.
Yeah, 93 fucking.
Hell. 93%.
That leads me to believe, just on a range of probability, that if they have 12 random people vote,
That majority
and those,
said the same thing.
yeah, and those people are not biased, and also they've probably seen some of the wide ranges of things, or they, everybody's gonna have sensibilities towards certain parts versus others. It appears that this should be an easy verdict return for not.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And they definitely got told a reasonable doubt means, which means he could have went down like this, or none of that. See, you know you don't. But yeah.
Whew. I hope the next time we talk, we got a verdict.
We will. Well, maybe we talk at lunchtime. If not at lunchtime, I'm hoping by the end of the day when we do talk, you know what I mean? We're talking about not only stuff, but everybody included. That's the conversation we got to get to.
Yeah.
Maybe at that point we could kind of revisit what each side did wrong, or what each side could have done better. Fuck it.
Right.
Everybody, make sure y'all keep supporting Milagros. Like, listen, she's been amazing, giving us very quality entertainment for all the mainstream outlets out there who are very upset that, you know, you have tens of thousands of people who would much rather listen to her give a breakdown more than reading your boring reports. Yeah, great. You use your big words this and third, but we want culture. And honestly, I really believe this is how media should be represented. It should come from us. You know what I mean?
Good.
Like it should be it shouldn't be in these random people who you know, like, you know, not even to call this particular lady out, but she was she saw Tory Lanez's father, and Tory Lanez's father identified that lady I asked you about, and she said, "Hey, this is my wife." He said, "It's my wife, not my girlfriend."
Mm-hmm.
And the lady said, "Oh, okay, yeah, they've been talking about it on Africa Twitter." And I'm like, the mere fact you said Africa Twitter, we already know what you got going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the exact reason why we need our voices in there. You said,
Exactly.
"Yep, huh?"
No, I said exactly. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yo, go watch the video. It's on her page.
I'm gonna go watch that shit. Africa.
She said, yeah. You got to. Hey, listen, yo, I'm gonna get off of here. Thank you once again. You look amazing. You do a great job. I watched you do this. I didn't want to join them on. Everybody was, you know, they're in love with you. And I watched you fucking break that shit down. And let me tell you, like, I give you a lot of credit because you have a lot of spirit, enthusiasm, and just natural talent of just fucking flowing and describing something. Yeah. And you know, this is why, you know, obviously you're gonna have people who don't like you, but you know, you definitely have a talent for this broadcasting space and just commentary. So I like it.
Sorry. Look, I could keep a nigga engaged.
Hey, no, that's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Perfect
that's
for this
good.
shit. Yeah, I'm good at my job.
Hey, I look forward to tomorrow, all right?
Me too. Thank you, Akademiks.
All right, later, girl.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
Whew. All right, you guys. So, thank you. I gotta go spend time with some of the best people in the world. That's my mom. Okay, so I'm finna get out of here. Can you see my titties? Oh, they're looking so good. I'm about to get out of here and go talk to my people. Thank you so much for tuning in. You don't want your news from me? Don't get it from me. Go where you want to go. Yeah. I feel like Tory gonna be kind of innocent. If he not, I'll start a riot. And that's just that. I don't give a fuck what you hoes say. All you opposing assholes, I don't give a fuck how y'all feel about nothing, bitch. Tory did not do that shit, and I don't care. And bitch, I've been saying that shit since 2020. And Tory, I want a song. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I thought about that. It's like, that's what I want. And then that's it. So I'm gonna go talk to my people. Thank you for your time. And thank you for listening to me. I appreciate you so much. And I'll talk to you later, okay? Bye.
Nah. I ain't want to be talking through the live, man, because that was some interesting breakdown, y'all. That was some very interesting breakdown. And she really gave us the business. Before I go, I'm going to let y'all hear another perspective. We're going to listen to Lawyer for Workers because, of course, I like to get, you know, multiple perspectives. Hey, I can't say that big rig Jew, boy. I ain't gonna lie. I love my woman, but those if I was single, boy, I'd probably be over here looking thirsty or whatever, you know, but those were some nice ones. She wasn't playing on that. Oh shit. But I couldn't, that's why I didn't even put her photo up there, man. I didn't want y'all to be distracted. But let's listen to what Lawyer for Workers had to say. Let's see what his perspective was. I know it's not going to be as entertaining as her perspective, but you know it's still at least relevant to what's going on. So let's hear what his testimony was. Hold up, y'all.
You've been watching. You know, I've been posting your updates. Your updates have been completely fire. I suggest, I see you started. I think anyone who's interested in, some, a more legal mind, a lot of rap, they should definitely subscribe to you. But we've been watching all you guys do updates. You guys have been in court, and we appreciate all you guys. And this is, what was it, day 8?
Day 8, yeah.
I ran a poll, 10,000 people voted. Over 93% is feeling like supposed to return a not guilty verdict. 93%. Granted, we're not in court. Maybe we're missing certain things. We do try to look at multiple outlets that there's no bias effect. I seen you had that one lady on your update earlier, and she said she came into this saying that, yo, Torey's guilty, or she thought that he did it. She changed her mind. Is that the kind of feeling you're getting, like, after 8 days of this thing?
Well, here's one feeling that I'm definitely getting after 8 days of this thing. Everybody agrees that it's a circus, and at this point, when they hear those jury instructions and they hear about beyond a reasonable doubt and what that means and whose job is it to put on a case, and if it's a fucking circus, who has to take that L? And so my overwhelming feeling is that everybody, regardless of what they believe, everybody believes that this is a circus, and you have not clearly shown me beyond a reasonable doubt that this man assaulted her. That's what I think. I believe that firmly in my heart. I think there are some people who can definitely debate and argue about who shot who and who's wrong and who's right. But if you ask yourself, has the prosecution proven this case beyond a reasonable doubt? It's a circus, and the answer to that is resolutely no.
Hey, so this is what I thought going into today. I was very, I was wondering how the instructions to the jury would go down. Tell me more a little bit about that process. Prosecutor and the defense get to have any, input on even the wording, or is it just up to the judge?
It's pretty standard stuff. There's a big book, and they sort of pick from it based on what charges there are and what the case is. I mean, there's some stuff that they're going to read in every instruction, which is who has the burden of proof. What is the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt? What does that mean? That means that you have a firm conviction that it's more likely than not that this is what happened. They talk to you about how to evaluate evidence. What is direct evidence? Direct evidence is if you look outside and it's raining, you can say that and testify it was raining on that day. Circumstantial evidence. What's circumstantial evidence? Circumstantial evidence is a racket on and they're wet and you didn't look outside, but you can maybe put it together that it's raining, and so you can testify on that day it was raining. I know that based on circumstances. So there's this very general shit that's going to go and get said that they hear all the time. And then there's the stuff about the crime. So you're going to hear stuff like he has to have had known that when doing the thing that he's doing, in this case, presumably firing the trigger, that it's going to result in an injury to Megan. And so if there's a struggle over a gun, can you prove that this man knew that he was letting a gun off to hit this person? I think, I don't know about that charge. So there's all those instructions. And then there's other instructions which are specific to the case. So there's an instruction about immunity, and that, prosecute the juries, the minds are turning in their heads. So you're going to hear the judge, and the judge sits there and he tells you, you may have heard about people getting immunity in this case. And I want to tell you the differences in the types of immunity that exist under the law. There's use immunity. Use immunity means that the statements that you make in court cannot be used against you. And so the jury knows, okay, Kelsey got use immunity. There's transactional immunity. Transactional immunity means that you cannot be charged for anything that happened that night. And here, Kelsey does not have transactional immunity. And so the instruction basically explains to the jury that although Kelsey's statements cannot be used against her to charge her, she can still be charged for stuff that happened that night. There's the instruction about the defendant. You are not to take the fact that the defendant has not testified here to mean anything. It means nothing. You're not supposed to talk about it amongst the jury when you deliberate. The defendant has an absolute right to not take the stand. And that is what he is doing here. That means nothing when you decide his innocence or guilt. So, there's this very general stuff, and then there's the stuff that's specific to the case. It's done in a sort of a neutral manner, but it also hits issues that for a juror are going to register. So they're just telling you immunity, but as a juror, you're thinking, so that's kind of how that works.
Hey, all right. So let me ask you, this is why I was asking that question about the instruction, right? I'm going on my narrative, so I'm into my narrative and my theory. There's a struggle for the gun. If let's say Kelsey had the gun, she may have aimed at Meg, may have shot before. Torey grabs the gun. Maybe the gun goes up in the air, shoots a couple times. Both their DNA might be on it. It's kind of inconclusive, right? There's definitely GSR on both. What would actually mean possession of the gun for Torey? If it's a struggle for the gun, is that I personally think the aggravated assault, I think that's out the window. I think they can't prove that. But could they prove that he fired a shot? Sean Kelly did say he saw Torey fire in the air, right?
That's right. And the question becomes, did Kelly say that he saw Torey firing the air on his own, or was Torey firing in the air, or did Torey have his hands in the air and firing was going off when there was a struggle ensuing? And the testimony is not clear. And the problem, people like Twitter, right? And you can't tweet testimony. I'm sorry. I know people like to do it, but you can't tweet testimony. Tweeting testimony makes no sense. First off, it's hard to tweet testimony. It is, honestly, and I say this to anybody who's, it is or people reading it is impossible to tweet testimony when lawyers do not present evidence the way it's supposed to be presented. And so when the judge allows lawyers to keep asking the same question 7 times, which should not happen, but it's happening in this case and it's normal, it kind of happens. But then if you try to tweet it and you try to tweet individual questions and responses as if that was what the testimony was, that is a thing said in the testimony. The entire testimony, like, you got to watch it, bro. If you haven't watched it, you can listen to my commentary or somebody else's take on it. But you either watch it or you read the transcript or you accept the commentary. Otherwise, it makes no sense.
I swear to you, I just seen Tory Lanez join the live. I swear.
Nah.
I swear. It says Tory Lanez joined. I swear.
Yeah, I see it. I'm not even touching that.
It's probably not him. It's probably not him.
Should I do it?
Yo, it's probably not him. It's probably a rep.
Gotta do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it, Ak. I'm gonna do it. Let's see. Because this came up during the trial. There was a post, and the investigators like, look, there's a little blue check mark. That's how I know it's Torey. And I'm just thinking, we just had this whole Twitter blue verified fake account bullshit, and now I've got the Tory Lanez check mark account in the live. I
can definitely attest, though. Like, one of Tory Lanez's associates controls his Twitch. Like, Torey doesn't even know how to log in.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna hit go live with Tory Lanez. Let's see what happens. I hit it. I don't know. Maybe he left. I don't know.
No. Hey. Okay. No, seriously. So let's get back to this, right? What do you think constitutes, like, if so, on a juror's perspective, you have the AZ picture of what's happening. What constitutes possession of the weapon? Because
that's a good question. I'll tell you, I didn't listen that carefully to the jury instruction on possession. I mean, I heard it. He basically said, first off, he said that he's being charged with possession of a weapon in a vehicle. No possession charge here. The only charge actually is possession in a vehicle. And it looks like the prosecutors are not trying at all to prove possession based on a tussle or even possession outside of the assault. The possession charge seems limited to this idea that the car was registered to Torey, the gun is found in the car, and so he had it. Now, I don't think the jury's going to go for that at all. That charge sounds dead, and I don't think the prosecutors give a shit about that charge. The 2 charges that I think that are in play or did he point this gun and know when he pointed it that it was going to hit this person, or at least had the potential to hit this person? Or two, did he discharge a firearm with gross negligence? I think that charge is in play, because there are some people who, like King Solomon, will want to split this baby, and they don't necessarily understand reasonable doubt, and they say, you know what, both of y'all look dirty, and they might take that lesser charge. I don't know what the penalty there is. It's a very, I think, way lesser charge, but it's in play.
Is that charge, would it include, let's say, and again, we're going on these multiple theories that's floating around. Let's say, okay, 3 shots got fired by allegedly Kelsey, then allegedly Torey wrestles a gun away from her. She's going back to fight. He pops 2 shots in the air, right? Which is kind of like what maybe Sean Kelly's seen something like that, even though he said 4 to 5. But let's say he shot in the air. Would that be considered gross negligence in discharging a firearm?
That's a great question. I don't know. I do know that there's sort of 2 elements to it. I think you could get, I'm not sure here. I'm just going, I'm a civilian, just kind of giving a guess. I think
California.
Yeah, it's California. I don't know. I think, and it was hard to follow the instructions. I think there's a 2-parter to the discharge charge. One is just recklessly discharging a firearm. Okay. And then I think there's an enhancement with the possibility of great bodily injury. So I think there's no doubt that there's no great bodily injury. If you're waving a gun and shooting in the air, it's not great bodily injury. If anything, it's, everybody needs to chill the fuck out, all right? Everybody calm down. I just got this gun off this maniac, and now I'm shooting shots in the air to calm down. But there might be a reckless discharge. I got to tell you, the jury instructions, bro, I'm a whole fucking attorney deeply invested in this case. I can't imagine the jury understood the elements of the charges, because I've barely got it. I think you got to sit down with the paper and break it down piece by piece.
Wow. So all that conversation about the bags, right? Was the guns in the bags? Because honestly, coming into this, I thought the narrative was going to be the gun belonged to the security guard. That makes sense. That kind of does make sense, right? But after I noticed that they never talked about, oh, it's registered to so-and-so, that felt like a problem, like maybe stolen gun, maybe serial number filed off. Then we get to here, it's just an unregistered gun. Bodyguard doesn't testify. Do you think it's likely that the jury's gonna go with the, hey, maybe they did pack in one of these Louis bags in the back seat that eventually moved?
Yeah, I thought the gun being somebody else's is a bit of a losing argument until this piece of the bags being moved. EJ, Meg's stylist, assistant, whatever we want to call him, testified that I moved the bags from my trunk into the trunk of the SUV behind the 3rd row. And we see in the pictures that these 2 bags, a Louis bag and like a metal roller bag. I think Rimowa makes the ones that a lot of people maybe knock off. Rimowa is the brand that you might be familiar with. So that Rimowa bag and the LV bag get from behind the 3rd row in the trunk of the Escalade to now in between the 2 middle seats. And that's weird as fuck, because nobody changed clothes. They were only in the car for only so much time. I'm not quite sure what reason or how those bags get moved from there to the middle. So that is interesting. It does lead to the credibility that the gun was in the bag, and then the bag gets moved, and that's how the gun comes into play. But there's also the issue of male contributors' DNA on the gun. So I don't know that that's going to go anywhere. I think what this case comes down to for me, I just made a video about it. Meg said that I got out of that car. I took a couple steps. A few seconds later, I looked over my shoulder, and there was Torey pointing a gun at me and fired 5 times. Okay, great. An eyewitness came, and he said, I was woken in the middle of the night by 2 women fighting. I walked out onto my Juliet balcony. I saw their fight, their verbal argument. I'm sorry, he said, I woke up in the middle of the night to 2 women arguing. I walked out onto my balcony. I saw their argument escalate, and then they were engaged in a violent physical altercation, the 2 women. I saw the larger man, Quan, the security guard, walk out and violently break up this altercation. Meg tells us none of that. Ryan Kelly told that to Detective Stogner. Ryan Kelly told that to the police. The LA County District Attorney knew that, and yet, and still, the police and the District Attorney never asked Meg, hey Meg, you told us that seconds after you got out of the car, this guy's turning around and shooting. There's an eyewitness who tells us that you were outside of the car arguing, escalated in an argument, got into a physical altercation with Kelsey. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And to me, how does this case not end the moment we have that contradiction?
Okay, all right. So now, and I know certain people feel like I'm anti-Meg, but let me play devil's advocate, right? And then I want you to play the district attorney, right? Okay, say I'm Meg and I'm like, hey, listen, I was wasted that night, right? I only remember some of the things that are traumatizing. I might have fought, but I don't know. A lot of times when you're intoxicated, you're skipping through moments in that night. Say she's not purposely omitting info, but she tells the district attorney, hey, listen, I hop out the car, the only thing I remember, I looked over my shoulder. Now, granted, the dance thing is seemingly performative, but whatever. This is my question to you, right? You know she's intoxicated, or you had to know. I know Stogner said that wasn't a point of like, concern.
Yes, Stogner said, why would I care if the witnesses and the victim are drunk? Who cares? Why would I check their social media? What does social media have to do with anything, Why would I check people's social media to investigate?
Okay.
I got a witness, and she has high-profile lawyers and big-time publicists, and they're telling me to, prosecute.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking you. Okay, so I tell you that story, right? If you then talk to Kelsey, even though apparently you got that statement, like, was it 2 months ago, 3 months ago? And Kelsey tells you something completely different that actually lines up a little bit more with Sean Kelly about a fight. And you realize there are, I won't say holes, because it's not like she said, well, maybe she did say there was definitely no fight, but you realize Meg's story isn't completely aligning with the events that night. Would you continue to pursue this?
No. And this is my point. But how the case got pursued, the LAPD was not diligent. The eyewitness told you about an argument between two women, about that escalating, about a physical altercation between two women. How do you not ask either of those women about that? What the fuck? At this point, I don't care if we have video of everything that happened before the moments that Torey takes out a gun and says, you people are crazy, everybody stop, and he fires in the air and a bullet ricochets and somehow hits Megan. The entire investigation is shit.
Hey, I have a theory. My theory says that the prosecutor omitted some of the behavior that night, and also narratives that played that incident, because of really the culture we live in. If in your narrative you're pretty much slut shaming Meg, you're also calling her drunk, even if she was legitimately a victim. These are things that kind of contribute, because think about her opening statement. Yo, she just insulted his music. He pops out a gun, dance bitch dance. Come on now. Like, you know what I mean? It's like they didn't even want to acknowledge that maybe there was a situation where there was one guy messing with two women. One woman was probably upset at the other woman saying, hey, you've done this before. Again, that I think publicly that would make Meg, in this culture where and make her look a little bit like she's promiscuous. And maybe they're trying to stay away from that. But if you're trying to paint an accurate narrative of why she would be in a position where she could get shot, you need to say that. So, like, I can't see any other reason why they wouldn't use that info.
Listen, bro, a week and a half of this trial, and I truly believe, I don't understand how you don't ask two women about the fight that the eyewitness saw. If a gun went off and a man denies shooting the gun, and your only eyewitness says that this all started with two women arguing, escalation, two women fighting, I saw it was outside my house, and you interview the victim and you don't ask her that. Come on, bro. What? How am I supposed to believe your investigation at this point?
Hey, you were there and present for the federal trial for Young Boy. What do you think is more of a shit show?
No, the Young Boy trial, that's federal court. The judge did a phenomenal job. The attorneys were, the attorneys were phenomenal. Young Boy's attorneys were phenomenal attorneys. And the prosecutors, they were kind of like, the prosecutors, everybody wanted to get a go. It's like, hey, we got this big profile trial. Let's give everybody a go. And so the prosecution's case in the Young Boy trial was a bit of a circus because it was unnecessarily complicated by all these attorneys having a go. But that wasn't a circus. That was a pretty clean trial. It was very orderly run. This is a circus. Let's recap. We had a Hollywood starlet come in with VIP treatment that I've never seen before for a victim. The courtroom was flooded by media and PR and district attorneys who all seemed very much like they wanted to build the nicest, most warm environment for this victim to testify. We come to find out this victim should have been questioned as a suspect for crimes that night, but who cares, I guess. After the Hollywood starlet comes and testifies under all this fanfare, we get her best friend saying that she's not going to testify because she's going to take the fifth. And then they give her immunity, and then she testifies and apparently lies through her teeth all day, all night. The following day, we get an eyewitness who nobody knew. Apparently, this man was just 10, 15 feet away watching all of these events unfold. He testifies. Nobody can make sense of his testimony. Today, we get Torey not testifying. We get Quan coming. The twists, the turns, better than a Hollywood movie, man. You can't make this shit up.
Yeah, definitely a documentary has to come out of this. Hey, so yesterday, apparently at the end of the day, right? I believe it's the DA, was it Alexander Bott? He was complaining saying he's getting bullied by the other dude.
Look, I don't know if he's getting bullied or not, but when you don't play your game, you start having little complaints. That man should play his game, and maybe he's not doing a good job of it. So he wanted to make a little record of personal insults that he felt were had. No big deal, nothing to see there. The judge really didn't entertain it. I thought it was childish. Yo, I got to dip back to court. Ack, always a pleasure, my brother.
All right, yeah, we'll link up. All
right, facts. Peace.
All right. That's a quick update or another
So yeah, y'all, that was from Lawyers for Workers. I want to get his perspective also. So we always try to get variety of perspectives. We can always go see the CNNs and the CBS and all the mainstream media outlets and everything. But of course, we know they don't work for the people. They only work for the corporation. So it's kind of hard to believe what all the corporations got to say about this situation, because we already know whose side they on. They've been lying to us for 2 damn years. Yeah, they've been lying to us for 2 damn years. So of course we can't believe shit coming out their damn mouth. So that's why I trust the independent investigators, the people who they watch from the sidelines. They see what's really going on, and try to make an unbiased opinion, which some of them might seem a little biased at times, but for the most part, they're just telling their honest opinion, looking at it from a fan perspective, a juror's perspective, not just only the celebrity perspective. So I can respect that out of them. But y'all, I don't know if anybody want to come up here and say anything. I'm at least get an opportunity. Sometimes I'll be forgetting to, get an opportunity for anybody that want to say anything. So I'm gonna drop the link real quick. Give y'all a second if you want to come up here and you want to, put your input in on what you think. I'll at least get that opportunity. If not, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I know it's late. No matter where you're at. Even if you're in California, it's at least about 11 o'clock over there right now. So if you're like me, probably got to get up and work in the morning. But I always get that after work nap, so damn, why is everything blacked out on my shit right now? I always get that after work nap, so that's what usually wakes me back up. And I wouldn't be able to go to sleep anyway without doing something. So, but I'll fall back to sleep at 3:30 or whatever, 4 o'clock, and then get back up about 6:30. But I dropped the link. What happened? I got dropped the link. Tell me what y'all think, man. I think there's gonna be a mistrial, but I think they're gonna try to stick one of those charges to them because they don't want this to, be a total failure. Which I know they don't have control of once it's in that jury's hand. They can't sit there and make 12 jurors see something different than what they saw. The only charge that I think that could stick is possibly the discharge. Discharge of firearm. Sorry about that, y'all. I was making sure y'all could hear me on my phone. But possibly the discharge of firearm. That's the only charge I feel like could possibly stick. And that would kind of be fucked up because it's going to make people think that he got found guilty of what pretty much is put in front of the public. Like when you're speaking on if he shot her or not, if he get found guilty for one charge, they're gonna say, "Oh, didn't he get found guilty for shooting Meg?" No, he got found guilty of shooting a firearm. Well, ain't that shooting Meg? Because she got shot, right? There's not even the proof that she got shot if you don't even have the bullet fragments. Y'all notice they skipping over that. They don't have the bullet fragments. So they can match it to the gun. And, hell, they always do all the forensic signs on everybody else's case. But we're making exceptions right now. You ain't got to tell us who the gun was registered to all of a sudden. Any other else's case would have known who the gun was registered to, would have known who other fingerprints was on there, all that stuff. There's a whole bunch of exceptions made in this case, which is very weird, very, very weird. Yeah, 2 years to get the story straight, Brittany Smith, and they still ain't got it straight. They come out here with all this what ifs and all these coincidental shit. Nah, come on now. We need the facts. And the fact is, if you are a victim, why do you come up here lying? If I'm a victim, why would I come and tell any lies? I want to come and tell the truth because I want justice. You can't come up and say you want justice, but you willing to skip over all the story and just try to point at a little part of the story. I was shot. Well, okay, can we see the bullet fragments? We ain't got them. Okay, can you tell us exactly what happened? I just hopped out the car. I called the nigga music trash, and the nigga jumped out and said, "Dance, bitch, dance," and shot me because that nigga such a petty ass, little boy ass nigga with no self-esteem, no confidence that he just want to shoot a woman because she told him his music was trash. That's what she want us to think. Why don't y'all just believe me? I don't want to have to be here in court. I don't want to have to prove nothing. I don't want to have to, y'all just should be believing me. This is what we're pretty much being told. This guy shot me for no reason. I was just being innocent old boss bitch Meg and this little Napoleon, personality guy that just couldn't take it. He shot me. That's what they want us to believe. But then when you get into the details, you find out, okay, well now, first of all, you called the man to the party. Then you forced the man to leave. You had your driver. Your driver was there with your shit. Why you ain't gonna get with your driver? This man ain't want to goddamn leave with you. That man ain't want you coming in here and want to be bringing motherfucking sand to the motherfucking beach. That man wanted to get the hell on. He wanted you to get the hell on. He tried to get his driver the keys. Hey, take them home. Take them wherever the fuck they need to go at. You jumped your ass. You wanted to jump your ass in there with him. Then you and your friend in here fighting him. You jumping all out the car and all this bullshit. being all drama and shit. All this came out of that. Then somebody all of a sudden gets shot. Then the witness tell us, I seen a woman shoot first. Can you tell us about that, Miss? Since you're telling us everything else. Since y'all telling us everything else, can you tell us who was the woman that shot? I don't even care if the woman shot second. Can you please tell us who the woman that shot something first? Tell us about that and then tell us the rest of the story. Why you leaving out the part about you and your friend fighting? You just telling us your shirt being ripped, your jewelry on the ground, your motherfucking nail popped off. All that happened without you fighting somebody? If Meg got jumped and all this and that, why she didn't mention all that? If everybody had to whoop her ass and throw her in the car, why that never got mentioned by her? Wouldn't that help her defense? So there's no way you can cut this and say, we supposed to be believing this woman when you lied about every single thing, but you're supposed to be telling the truth about the one part that can matter the most. Oh, he shot me. He shot me. When we can't even see the bullet fragments, can we at least see the bullet fragments? Why did those bullet fragments disappear out of the evidence? Ain't shit else ever disappeared. Now all of a sudden, something simple as bullet fragment. Who the fuck wants a bullet fragment? I can see if it was like a dope case and some money started popping up missing or something like that. Why would somebody steal some bullet fragments? And how much power would you have to be able to make that kind of move? Why all of a sudden this damn appreciate it. Why all of a sudden that this damn bodyguard come up missing? Why the security on one? Why the driver come up missing? Why we can't hear from them? The fourth person that was at this goddamn what's her name? Whole bunch of questions here, man. Ain't no way in the world you could be one of those white woman jurors up there, or one of them old white men, or Asian, or something like that. And you sit here, only thing you thinking is, y'all niggas got some serious issues. Y'all talking about white folks. That's all them folks can be thinking right now. Y'all niggas got some serious issues in y'all culture. This is what y'all doing? This is what y'all doing. But on that note, I'm going to leave it like that. I appreciate everybody that done pulled up. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Cash App is at the bottom. If you did want to donate, I appreciate the like button. It don't even matter. But I'm going to go ahead and let y'all get out of here. I'm going to get out of here. We all got a little work to do in the morning, or some of us anyway. But y'all have a nice day. Wickmate 912 out your area. Salute to the chat.